Hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. So, today's you know, video is going to be a little bit different in that there's not going to be background music. It's going to be more video diary style. So, I hope you enjoy it and I hope that you truly get to like appreciate all the shenanigans and the work and the blood, sweat, and tears that went into making this gown. And the reason why I'm not explaining what you're currently seeing on your screen is because honestly, none of this really matters right now. And you'll understand as you watch on. It is a long video, but it's long for a reason. And I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Bye. I'm annoyed at myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really annoyed. I'm annoyed at myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm annoyed at myself because I decided to use the Doja Cat pattern, knowing that the Doja Cat pattern had like an issue here, right? Because I wanted to give it like a stomacher fantasy, but I didn't have the stomacher making time at the time. So I just quickly like did it, and you can't see it because there's like flower petals and everything, so it was not a big deal. But then I was like, you know what, it's fine. It's probably just gonna be like a tiny alteration, and and then I made like some other. You saw it. You saw what I did. I'm just gonna have to drape the whole thing. Like I should have just done that because that's what I wanted to do initially, and it would have saved me so much more time. I would have done it probably in like an hour because between this, the Doja Cat, because I listened to Florence's album Everybody Screams, so that's like an hour. It took me like a whole hour, and what else? Sewing this, you know what I mean? Between that, because I was listening to the greatest hits by Mother Mary. Yeah, it's like an hour and 30 minutes gone, and I don't have an hour and 30 minutes, and I need the bustier corset slash stays situation to be done today with the skirt. I want all of that to be done today so that tomorrow I can just like focus on um like getting things done quickly because next week it's like there's a holiday and everything. I just want to get everything done by ideally Thursday next week. I mean Wednesday, so that Thursday I can do like the shoot and everything for this. And I still want to like do a. I don't know how I'm gonna do the hair for this because I really want to do something very cool for this. I want to look really good. So yeah, I'm gonna drape. We're gonna drape. We're gonna drape. And it's like 8:30. I had other things that I was doing, and but I can't because the problem was I can't just do it tomorrow. I wanted to read the intersectionality environment. What is it? Um, the intersectionality of environmentalism, I believe, and that's what I wanted to read. And I now it's like I'm gonna basically take like 3 hours to 4 hours to do all of this. Yeah, so we're just gonna drape. There's nothing else we're gonna do. We're just gonna drape. We're gonna drape. Not sure about this. Not sure about it coming in like this. Just take it back just a little. Okay, so this is the drape situation. I'm still gonna like mark it properly, but this is the idea, you know. So I'm still trying to figure out like how is this gonna be two like separate dresses, and how am I going to? I have an idea of like how am I going to like connect the dress to the bodice, rather the skirt portion, so that it can like perform as one dress. But yeah, okay. So traced everything. I'm just gonna like add a notch points for this, and then I am going to transfer everything to paper. Then I'm gonna make a mock-up and fit it on me. I know that this is probably 2 inches too big, because when I made this I was a little bit bloated. I'm like maybe 2 inches smaller than this, I think. So I already have an idea that okay, fine. I know at which points it should be maybe taken down a little bit. But yeah, that's the idea. Let's see what happens. Okay. Turns out to be, thank goodness I pinned this, you know. Oh, I've got like moisturizer and stuff. I'm about to go to bed. Um, I'm not gonna do the skirt today. Honestly speaking, I'm lazy. This, you know, usually I only push through the night when I feel like I'll have too much work the next day. But after like pinning this on, because I was like, oh my gosh, am I really just gonna sew this? I was like, let's just pin it and let's see what alterations need to be made beforehand, right? And baby, there is no alterations that need to be made. I know it looks like it's a bit big here. It's not. It's like it's not pinned all the way. Yeah. Or is it this side? It's this side. Yeah, this side. It's not pinned. Um, the only thing I will say is that it's a bit big here, but that is because this is actually big. I'm actually surprised. I think I didn't measure properly, which means it is a size 29. Um, but here I do know that it's a bit bigger because I made it like an inch and some change bigger because, you know, I'm trans and I mean, you know, with hormones, your breasts become bigger. And I remember I have this dress that I made like it was like 2 years ago. And when I made it, I like was telling myself that girl, you need to realize that probably in like 6 months this won't fit like around the bust area, and it really doesn't fit anymore. And I have to alter it, which I'm so lazy. But like right now with everything that I'm making, I've got that in mind, which is one of the reasons why like this is already like, you know, a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna unpad it to fill the X, just a little bit, but for the most part this is good. It's breathable, which I have done tight lacing before, something that's even tight, and this will not be. It won't be a stretch fabric, you know. It technically will be a stretch fabric, but because of how I'm going to, I'll put it both on the cross and the horizontal grain. the pieces so that they are this is you're gonna have like 2 or 3 pieces of. I think I'm gonna use the tulle. I'm still not sure which fabric is gonna be the what's this, the bodice. I'm not sure. So yeah, I was gonna do the skirt now. I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it tomorrow. But I think that I need to do is I thought I was gonna add like pennies. I'm not gonna do that. Like as I was thinking about it, like for the um what's this, the other skirt that I'm gonna make, right? Basically, when the dress is without this, it's gonna have this structure and then something else. As I was like draping, I was like, no, I don't want to add any pennies, but I will add like a pinne. What is it called? I will add some padding specifically on the side, which is why you saw me kind of sort of doing that thing when I was draping, rather when I was, doing the style lines. There needs to be some like padding that's gonna happen here because it's gonna be like a cliff of some sort. This side there won't be any. I know it's very asymmetric. I love an asymmetric look. Like come on, you know. So yeah, and then there will be a slit. I was not sure about the slit while I was thinking, or like I was thinking, because of where I don't like a slit on this leg. I always like a slit on this leg, and now that I have realized that the cliff is best that it's on this side, the slit can automatically come on this side, which just makes everything so much easier because being able to lead, you'll see what I mean. Because my heart is on this side, the way that that's gonna run, it's gonna run. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have myself like some cookies, maybe watch Sloppy Seconds, and what else? Yeah, then I'm gonna go to bed and then I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna do the skirt, and then I'm actually gonna cut the fabric and make the actual corset and the actual skirt, and then we'll start doing the fun part, like basically making the appliques to cover the entire dress. Yeah. I'm so excited. Oh yeah, it's gonna have a side zipper. Like I prefer for it to have a side zipper. It's not gonna have a back zipper. You know. Yeah. This makes clothes more accessible. Literally. I try to be lazy about this, but if I want this to look the way that I want it to look in my mind, I'm gonna have to do math. Uh, I wanna like make basically almost triangular mermaid like panels that are gonna go around. The more panels I can have, the more I can play with um like when it moves it's gonna look like a wave. That's one of the things when it comes to the oyster dress, right? That's what's going on there with that. It's definitely like a panels that kind of sort of give that vibe, right? um and I almost wanted to they add godets like to give it more of that flowy thingy at the end. And because the skirt is uneven, right? As it is, this is already an asymmetrical. And as I'm also doing this, I'm realizing that I wanted this to be mesh, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I can do it, I can make it mesh, but it will have to be like um, a portion of this will be mesh. I'm thinking I'm gonna like draw a design here that's gonna be mesh, and then the bottom part it has to be a more sturdier fabric so that it can support this. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is probably go around like that, you know, and to a certain point halfway here, and turn that and make that mesh, and then the rest of it will be with the Duchess satin that is heavily interfaced because this is gonna be a very heavy skirt. It's going to be a very heavy skirt, and I am yeah. The thing is, another thing, this is the most abundant fabric that I have. It's this poly cotton. It's rather thin, but it's gonna be the base for the skirt. Like the other fabric that I have is not gonna be enough. If I end up going with the godets, And I was thinking like I don't know what I was thinking, right? But I can't. I want this to be executed really well. So it has to be like paneled. And I have another skirt. Oh my god, I have that skirt. I have that pattern. There's a pattern that I have for a skirt that I wanted to make like years ago, but then the fabric ran out and they still haven't stocked it. And I've just been waiting, because at the time when I bought it, I didn't buy enough. And I realized that a Godet, like kind of sort of situation panels, they take up a lot of fabric. They take up a lot of fabric. Like I remember thinking to myself, I need like 9 meters for the amount of panels that I needed for that skirt. It was just a skirt, and I think Tuso something wore that skirt somewhere, and that's when I fell in love with it. But anyway, yeah, I have to, and we're gonna have to make the base with this polycotton. You're not gonna be able to see it. Um, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Because it needs a very sturdy fabric to be able to hold it. And I'm trying to think. I don't have any other fabric. Well, I do, but I don't want to use that. Only because like it's you're not gonna see any of this. You're not gonna see the base fabric. So in my mind, I'm like, just use the polycotton. It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna use the polycotton. And I know this is like boring or whatever, but I'm trying to convince myself maybe there's another way. No, there isn't. I'm just gonna have to like, God, this is gonna be so much work. Like the skirt is gonna bore the living. It's so boring what I'm about to do. So I'm just gonna make the skirt, you know, complete the skirt using this. I'm literally just gonna do it once off. I'm not gonna make a mock-up because it's relatively a straightforward idea. And then I will pin it here and then cut out the excess. So I basically the skirt has to like I'm gonna make it from this point going down, and then with the measurements I will consider this measurement here, right? It needs to be able to go all the way up, and then I'll pin it onto this and then shape it. And then when we get to here, we will do what's necessary to be able to shape this into place, right? Because I imagine once I put it on, I'll have to like open some of the panels and then shape it, by adding other fabric and stuff so that we can get this shape. And that's what we're gonna do, because I don't want to play around with fabric and waste fabric, and like by experimenting with this like another easier way. And it's again going back to the thing of like no one's gonna see what's going on underneath it. I do want to be constructed well though. And then yeah, I'm gonna draw out my whatever it is that I'm doing here. Today I'm not in the mood, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not, but I don't have all day, so let's lock in. Okay, so basically, this is the skirt pattern that I'm talking about. It was supposed to be about, I want to say, 9 to 12 panels of this, right? So that this point can make up like my waistline. So that's like the idea, is like this triangular shape. But I'm realizing that also, again, I'm trying to be very conservative and not waste fabric. So I had two options. It's either I was going to make the panels a bit bigger, but then I'll have to make it bigger at the bottom. Either way, it will come down to the same thing. What I'm going to do, because this is what I use to like make my patterns, these shopping bags, I'm going to make them, because each panel, the panels that I'm going to make out, the longest part of the skirt is like 80 inches long, from, it's not 80, but like from this point, and I'll explain why I'm saying from this point all the way down, it's like 80 inches long. So if it's going to be 80 inches long, I want to make like, what's this? It's 80 inches long and 50 centimeters wide. So it's 80 inches long and then 50 centimeters across here. This waistline is like 50. including this bustle situation. Um, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make it small, so probably like at the top of the panel, I'll make it like 5 inches. So if it's 5 inches and we need 50, that is 10, right? Means we need 10 panels. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, yeah. So we need 10 panels, right? Um, Part of me wants to make it like a little bit more, to be honest. I want to like make it maybe like 4 inches, at the top, and then, God, that's gonna be like a crazy skirt, hey? And this is like the difference. I mean, is it? I will not. I'm gonna lay it down, and then I'm gonna see. I might have to extend this, to be honest. It's either like going back to what I said. It's either, but no. One thing is for sure too. That I want it. I know why, like to have that effect that the Mcqueen oyster dress has. The panels have to be thin at the top and really big at the bottom. Like you're gonna have to, and not just like at the bottom, but it has to like really, so that when you're walking, it gives that wave like effect. So it's giving ocean. You know what I mean? Um, I'm probably gonna end up like with, you know what? Let's just do it and then we'll see. Okay, so this is the pattern for the for the panel, and a part of me is like, because I'll need 12 of these, 12 of these panels that are gonna go around, and there's a part of me that's like, oh my god, that's gonna be so much fabric, and I'm still trying to think of a way of how I'm gonna like add stability to the actual fabric, because this polycotton, honey, is not strong. And I don't know. And my mom, I'm like, you know what, girl, just do what you need to do. Oh! I feel like screaming because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Came here to party, you know what, just started it. No, let's just do it. We'll figure it out later. This is tomorrow me's problems. Okay. Okay, so I've been thinking about the skirt, right? So I went with it's a trapezoid, right? It's a trapezoid that is 4 inches at the top, and then it's 20 inches at the bottom. The length of it is 80 inches. That's a lot. Like the amount of fabric I would need to be able to pull that off after like doing maths and stuff is 20 meters of fabric, like 22 meters, but it's actually technically I need 13, not 12. So hold on. Okay. It would be, yeah, like 22 meters of fabric, which is crazy. Like when I look at the cheapest fabric that I can get, that's gonna cost me like 500 rand. And doing this entire thing, I keep saying that I don't want to buy fabric, but somehow, somewhat, I buy fabric, and I don't want to do that. I will buy fabric, spoiler alert, but I don't want to. Um, I don't want to just buy fabric. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was thinking about it. I have to rethink how I'm approaching the skirt, because I think that will definitely work really well. Is a what's this? What do they call it? A curtaining fabric. Curtain fabric will be perfect for this because it's 280 meters long, and actually you can get it longer. There's probably others that are like 300, so you can really get like really long fabric for curtain fabric that is very sturdy. That's the thing I like about curtain fabric. And this is a type of, like, the skirt is going to be heavy because of the amount of like ruffles and stuff that are going to be on it. So I need to be very honest with myself about like how heavy this is going to be. I can't like waste my, because that is like, as a that bolt is like 50 meters. I would have to use half of that bolt for something that I know will not be able to carry, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change my mind with the trapezoid. I think what I'm going to do, because it's still going to give the same fantasy, I am going to, the easiest thing, um, I'm going to make two circle skirts, two half circle skirts, um, half circle, so like two half, and I'm going to still keep the same length, kind of, sort of, because the front and the back don't really have the same length. At the back is really where it's going to be 80 inches. In front, it's probably at a certain angle, like on my right leg, it's probably going to come down to about, let's say, 50 inches, you know? So, um, I think what I'm going to do, and I'm going to think about this very Mcqueen like, I'm going to be smart with how I do this. I'm not going to just like, squish together a bunch of fabric. The idea, what's important to me, like Mcqueen would agree with this, that it's about the shaping at the end, the how it looks like. And there's many ways to, I don't want to use that phrase. There's many ways to be able to get to this. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to I'm going to create like I'm going to basically create dots. I'm gonna make a very long um no. I'm gonna take a circle skirt, right? Make the radius really long. No, I don't want to. I think I'm gonna do like maybe two half circle skirts at the back with a relatively long radius that can be gathered in a little bit, at the back, and then in front, I'm just gonna make like maybe three trapezoids. That's what I'm gonna do so that I can really get a bang for my buck, because I really want to get sturdy fabric, and that's not that cheap, but I know there was a sale. The same way that I got that pink fabric, I know there's a sale, so I want to do that. Now the most pressing part about all of this that I'm realizing, and I realized it when I was looking. Look, let me show you. So right, the main fabrics that are like the star of the show here, are. Yep, okay. Let me just I'll show you. Let's see the tool, and then this. I'm thinking about this, and I don't know how this works, if I'm being honest. I know that the color is not good because of how bright this is. The last time when I did this, it wasn't bright. Let me try and do something. Exposure. Okay, let me try and reduce the exposure. Can you see it? Can you see the color? Yeah. Okay, I'm not trying to reduce the exposure so that you guys can actually see the colors. This is like a champagne gold, and this has got like a what's the color? It's not yellow, but it's ah cream white. Yeah, and then this is like a white. This is my favorite thing. It's gonna work somewhere in front, and then there's this fabric. Now, I know this seems like a lot of fabric. I don't think this fabric is gonna be enough for the ruffles at the bottom. And then the tulle is gonna be used at the top, right? I don't think this fabric is gonna be enough. I just don't think it's gonna be enough. I keep thinking to myself, and I'm like, I don't think this fabric is gonna be enough, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think the fabric is gonna be enough. I keep thinking about it, and I'm just like, I need something else, because the ruffles, I haven't decided whether I want to basically, like the coat. Oh my god, this took forever. I remember when I was doing this coat, I almost felt like I was crying. This coat is so heavy. It is so heavy. It is so heavy, and it's making me think, oh my god, I cannot imagine how heavy. And that's the thing with this coat, there's so much, like I really interface the hell out of this, so that's why I'm like very concerned about. So I don't know if I want to do like ruffles like this, right? like which will basically make up the most of the design at the bottom of the skirt. Or if I want, and I know that there's a huge portion of this of me just talking, but I really need to like work you through how I am thinking about this. Or if I should basically make a circle, fold it twice, like, you know, fold once, then fold again, then it's gonna create that, and then make a bunch of those. And then, plus, I really do like that. I think that's what I want to do. But the work, eh, the work for that one. And in my mind, I'm like, either way, the ruffles would work really well with either one of those fabrics. But I have to really think about this like very meticulously because the color story is important. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna I can't make a decision on what I'm just gonna turn this into a pattern. I didn't do that yesterday, and then I will start making a decision on whether I want to do ruffles because I looked at all the different ways that I could play around with. The thing that makes the most sense is that the bottom has to be either ruffled or I'm gonna show you different things, right? Those are like I'm gonna show you like different pictures. They should be here because I've got like three ideas. It's just that I don't know the names of the other like ways of manipulating fabric. But yeah, there really isn't like any other option where it really will give the idea, like the flow that I really wanted to have, you know. Um, the thing is about the four thingy is that I'll have to like attach them into like long rows that basically will wrap around so that when they do, yeah, oh my god, that would look so pretty though. It will look so pretty. It will look so pretty. Like I like the ruffles also, but the ruffles would have to be bigger. And I keep saying that I don't want to make the oyster dress, but if I'm being honest with you, the oyster dress seems so much easier. And I'm saying like the take like the they I understand why they did the things that they did. Like they didn't do too much. And I said this before. Um, I understand why they didn't do too much because like it becomes just such a nightmare to work with. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like so much easier to just do the ruffles, or what are we doing? What are we doing, girls? You know what? You will see. But now, let's just do what we actually can do. We'll work on this. Tomorrow, we're gonna go get fabric, and then I think I'm only gonna need like 4 meters of fabric, and then I'm gonna try to get like another fabric, which for me, it has to be like a cream white or that champagne gold color, right? Because I feel like that would be nicer, like being able to break it apart. And if I'm being honest, that I'll show you which color. I liked this like a lot in the beginning, but right now I really don't like it. Hey, I don't like it because it's such a like when I look at it amongst the other fabrics, it's the only one that is um it's fighting the other colors. It really doesn't like sit as well as the other colors do. So I'm thinking if I were to get like something champagne-ish like this, right? Both for how much was that organza? Can I still get that organza? It's too shiny. But there is taffeta. They have these taffetas and stuff, and I'm thinking the taffeta might be. Do you know what just crossed through my mind? Fraying. That's something that I need to really consider. Like I can't use a velour. Velour frays. It's a nightmare to work with. That organza. Oh my gosh, no. Like I would have to like serge or somewhat like make sure none of the pieces frays if I end up going with that. No, it can't. Ugh. Girls, I'm stressed. Did I bite off more than I can chew? This is stressful. I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna go to the fabric store tomorrow and I'll make decisions. You know, God, this is an expensive hobby because currently it's a hobby. Okay, this is what I want to talk to you guys about it, right? It's the pattern. I'm struggling with the pattern for the skirt because and I've spent like the last couple of hours just thinking about it, like the different ways. If you look at the oyster dress, let me just show you. Um, let's go to Pinterest. Do you see this? I don't know. I hope this is not AI, but you see these folds that are happening here, right? These folds. I'm trying to do something to mimic these folds, and I know how to mimic them. And yes, a circle skirt would mimic those folds, right? But the thing is, this is a very large. Huh, that is a good point. I could just do that. But then how do they connect? Do you understand? Okay, fine, I'll explain what I'm saying right now. Um, Again, here, do you see that? Do you see that? I want this. Those folds are very important. And if you look at the oyster dress, let me try and find the oyster dress. Um, Oyster dress. Uh, the oyster dress does the same thing. Look, do you see that? It's the same thing and they go up. And I love this because it really speaks to the, if you've ever like paid attention to like the coral reef, even though they were going for like an oyster fantasy and clam shells and stuff like whatever, but it really does give coral reef fantasy because this is what I want to mimic here. I really love this detail. Honestly speaking, I'm like at a point where I think I just might recreate this dress because I'm so fascinated with it. You know, this is what, so for, in order for you to do this, you can't just have like a circle skirt, right? You have to have a circle skirt and have like godets in between, you know? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Am I gonna make, because also I'm also thinking from a place of fabric. So I'm currently like thinking, right? So this is from the top view because it works better to see like this. This would be the front, that would be the back. Those are the side seams, right? And then here is where my bustle would be, right? That's where it would be. And now let's I'm gonna give you a radius for like to the floor, right? Let's just imagine this is the radius to the floor, right? And then this is the radius of like how long I want each point to be. Now from here, I want this part to be the longest specifically. So it's gonna be very wide and then it's almost gonna come in closer, 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 almost like a rotation of the sun. Of like some sort of something, sun or something, you know, it's not actually straight. I want this for a reason, right? I just prefer it, it's more dramatic, it's very asymmetrical. So this would be the thing. Now, this side, right? I was thinking, okay, fine, I want like two situations, like two straight points, because I really want like almost like a cliff like fantasy. And for in order for you to get that, you would have to like truly like allow that, like that seam, the way those two triangles meet, or trapezoids, I'm still not sure which fantasy, most likely it's going to be a trapezoid, right? Where they would meet, so they would meet like here, right? I mean, I don't know if I want to go all the way to the waist, but let's say they go all the way to the waist, right? And then they would come down like that, but then they're like two of them, you know. But I think to myself, but I don't want to add like something else. I wonder if maybe I should add like another godet here between these two, right? But no, it will create a very weird, like almost, it will create a look something like this from the side, right? Because there'll be that seam and then there's this additional thing in here. It's either gonna cave in or it's gonna do that, you know, because it's got this extra triangle. It's either gonna come up or cave in, which I'm thinking is gonna cave in because of the weight and stuff, and I don't want that. So that's a no. Now, because this is asymmetric, like, you know, I love the asymmetry, and for me there will be like a slit here, right here there will be a slit, so that would be like at this point for me. What I want to do is, as like you get closer to this point, like the godets get shorter and shorter. Actually, oh no, that's a little bit too high. Let's use another color for the godet. Okay, the godets, the godets get shorter, right? So that's the godet 1, then godet 2, then godet 3. And then as you get closer to this, it matches the height of this. And then here it's pretty short, right? It's like that, right? And as you go closer and closer and closer, you get closer to the other side, the godet becomes like larger. So this is like the idea, right? Because it will create this fantasy. Now my thing is this pattern, right? The pattern for this point, this like starfish, what's the other, not Squidward, but like octopus situation, kind of, sorta, right? How am I gonna do that? Because I'm thinking I might just make like each panel, right, as we go around, I make it like just a triangle. Historically there is like some precedent to what I'm saying, like a trapezoid that's more rectangular, not triangle, rectangular, right? But then we pay attention to the waistline. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll add these trapezoids. But the thing is, the trapezoids are not all the way to up there, so when you attach, I think I'll have to come in like that at certain points, you know, attach so that I can maintain that, and then add the godet, right? And then add the godet like here, like that, you know, and then have another piece. Oh yeah, this is exactly how I'm gonna do it. Thank goodness I was doing this with y'all. And then another one, you see? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it like that, which means I have to make a pattern because I don't want to make too many of these. I'm thinking, and I think at the back in particular, I think I will create a certain height that's very similar to the front, and then at the back I'll just like add pieces to extend, which in the past they used to do that, you know, because I really do, I want to preserve fabric. I don't want to like be, because that first trapezoid was ridiculous. So I want like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 8 of these, or rather, let me see, if we come here, right, excluding this point, but this is very long, and I'm trying to think about the kind of fabric I want to buy. Definitely I'm sitting with like a curtain like fabric, which is going to be like 280 centimeters width, and I want to buy like maybe 3 or 4 meters of that. Yeah, and I want to be smart with the fabric. I don't want to like, you know, like odd shapes take up a lot of like waste fabric, and I don't want to do that. That's the thing. I almost wonder if I should gather at certain points for the drama, right? Like, because if I make the trapezoids bigger, you know, in other words, So instead of just like making it the same circumference as my as not necessarily but like the corset waist, right? Or the corset like style line at the bottom because it's not going to be at the waist. Instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do is like gather, like have those trapezoids, right? Get to a certain length. I'm thinking like almost to the floor and a little bit more. And then whatever I need extra, I will piece together while still maintaining that flow because I want to work with like squares, um, triangles, and trapezoids. It's still like so that I can preserve fabric, right? I don't want to like spend too much money on this because I still have another project that I'm gonna do that's gonna be inspired by what look I like from the Met Gala. So I kind of spent like 700 rand on fabric here, and I've made up my mind that there's like a piece of some of the yellow fabric. I'm not gonna use it anymore. It's actually very close to this color, but I don't want this. I really do like this champagne situation. I love this, but the thing with the champagne is that I don't have like I can't even sew the bodice now because the skirt is such a big thing, and I don't like it needs to flow like from the skirt all the way to the bodice. So I'm just gonna leave that. You can see like I've already like traced it out um from the mock-up, which there's no need for me to actually make another mock-up. This is actually like an amazing fit. I'm actually gagged at that. I'm not really gagged, but I'm gagged at the mannequin. But anyway, so but at the same time, I was very explicit about like I don't want it to be white. It defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. But I don't know. I need something else, something that's actually gonna serve as let's quickly look at like coral reefs, right? I wanna show you something. So there's different like ideas that are coursing through my mind, you know. Do I want this to be the prominent feature? Because as I'm reading about corals, there's like two types of corals, the hard, the soft, and then there is um these different there's hard and soft, and then there's like I've been reading different things, right? Like which type of corals do I want to be prominent? Do I want because that's going to be like the vibe. And the ruffle one is cute or whatever, but it's not what I want. And I almost think about like if I should make like this kind of sort of thing. I thought about like this is going to be a long video and I apologize, but like this is the I want to show y'all, that's what I want my page to be like, the artistic process, like how someone thinks through a thing, because I'm genuinely thinking through this with y'all. You see, this kind of sort of chaos is going to be reserved for the bodice, but not really that much. I don't want this thing to be too chaotic. But can you see that? Like, it's so sad. Coral reefs don't even look like this anymore. Very rare. They are heavily bleached. Um, do you see that? Like, I wanna. There's also this idea of like making these type of polyps. The ones that are, I forget the name. There's names for them, but the ones that are more like stringy. But how would I do that, and like how many would I need? Like how would I do it? God, I would need so many, because that's the point. Like the one that's going to be the most of it needs to be I can't just do like, I don't want the things to be like huge. I'm trying to think. Like this this is actually very nice, but like how do you do this? How am I going to do this with fabric? And with the fabric that I have, I'm really trying to think. This is very okay. I think that's where we're gonna stop. I already figured out what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna stick to squares and triangles, like and trapezoids, so that I don't like do too much when it comes to the fabric. I think we will build the skirt. I'll just start from this point. So when I get the fabric, I will make a mock-up. I think what I'm gonna do is to make the mock-up for this part, right? Like make a mock-up for that and then attach it and then just add the trapezoids. And it doesn't have to go all the way to the ground. Yeah. Because I really need to piece this together. Because I really want to use like the fabric. You know, because I don't want this thing. Girls, I'm also struggling with the idea of like how I'm gonna make this into two dresses. Honestly speaking, sometimes you really like you really gotta like hold before you announce something. Ah. There's a part of me that wants to what's this? That wants to no, that's Timu. No, I'm not doing that. There's a part of me that wants to like reshoot the video that you guys are gonna see on Monday, but in my mind I'm like, no, girl, you can do this. Challenge yourself. I don't know how this is gonna be two separate things. I really don't know. It's hard. Like, you see what I'm saying? And it's like, look at the time. I have to eat. There's so many things I need to do. Okay, okay, that's it. Okay, so decisions. I made some decisions, right? Um, the biggest breakthrough thing out of all of this is that I'm not going to create two dresses, or rather, like make this a dress that is like reversible and you can wear it during the day. I'm just gonna wear the dress, you know. And I really had to sit and have a conversation with myself about that, and um, really interrogate what it is I'm actually trying to do here, and why is it so important to me to, you know, go back to the core ideas behind the messaging of wearing, you know, wedding dresses outside of like as regular, you know, fashion, without like having to wait until you are married to be able to wear white or whatever. And I really had to be honest with myself about the reason to why I felt like I needed to make it more, um, you know, day friendly, because that's basically what I was trying to accomplish by like having like maybe the bottom part. It was not necessarily about functionality. I've never really cared about functionality and whether or not it's doing too much. You know, it was more about the fact that it just felt, I was afraid of the idea of like really committing to, truly speaking, like almost wearing like a ball gown, you know, as regular fashion. And with that, I really had a conversation with myself and I was honest with myself and I was like, you know what, make the dress that you want to make and wear that dress. And I was like, cool, yeah. So we're gonna make basically the dress the way that I'm seeing it in my mind. And you know, we're not gonna split it, it's gonna be one dress, right? And then now I went fabric shopping and I bought some stuff. Let's talk about that. Which this was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty difficult, but yeah. I got this evening shade. It's called Evening Shade curtain. It's 280 meters. It is such a good. Oh, this is going to be fabulous. It's sturdy. It'll be able to hold all the ruffles and all the things I'm going to do to it. And I've decided that this, for the most part, is going to be the whole dress, you know, from top to bottom, like including the corset. But it's going to be the foundation. I think I might like at like a certain point add like mesh in between, which that's going to be really something. I have to make sure that that mesh is really like done really well, so that it, you know, doesn't rip or anything like that. So I'm gonna do that with this. And I was thinking maybe I will underline, not underline, but like, you know, on top of it maybe add like a tulle. I'm not sure. But now the actual fabric that's going to be the 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 main fabric on it is going to be this fabric. It's like a gold like fabric, and I said this yesterday, and I was like, I like this champagne color. Oops. But I love this champagne color of the satin, even though I don't think I'm gonna use the satin anymore. I might for like a specific part, or but it's I think more I'll use it more as an applique more than like to make the bodice. I'm not gonna do that anymore. Um, I might. I don't know. We will see. I might. We'll see. I'm not sure. I think some panels will be made of that, and some panels will be made of this, and then uh, some parts of the panels will be made of the tool, right? And then this is going to make up most of the ruffles, which is going to be like like I showed you yesterday. And I've decided that I'm gonna go with like flat, um, like the flat polyps in the from the coral reef. It's gonna be those are gonna be the ones that will be the most abundant. I thought of like doing spiky stuff, but um, it's doable, but it's not gonna this like it will need like a very sturdy fabric, and it kind of sort of won't do what I want it to do, right? It will lack a flowiness that I don't want, but I will have those elements scattered around. But yeah, I got like 10 meters of this. It's not actually 10, it's like 9, because I took the whole bolt. So I got that, and it's the same fabric that I used for the coat, but it's just in this shade, and I was like, perfect, this is gonna work, because I love the shimmery quality, and this doesn't fray. That's a very important thing, because I was looking at a lot of different things. There's a lot of options, right? But a lot of things fray, and um, it's gonna be I cannot have this be a mess. I was just like, no. And I got some like this thick ass tool tape, and I think that's gonna be, I'm gonna use that as like bias binding. And I got some interfacing because I ran out, there's some interfacing. And I got some underwire, and I'm not sure if, I think I have this color, but I also got this. So tonight, oh yeah, and then when it comes to the construction, I've decided that I'm gonna make 5 trapezoids, and then in between each trapezoid will be a fine, not, I'll make 5 trapezoids, but then in between each trapezoid and at certain points, because I'll cut some of the trapezoids, like all the trapezoids will be cut in the middle, but at each point there will be a what's this? There will be a like a godet. So there'll be like 1 godet, 2, like I think in total maybe there might be like 10 godets, but they're not gonna be that big. So yeah, and the dress won't have that 80-meter, like 80-inch like train. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna bring it back in. It's just that I will bear in mind that because even though I'm not gonna wear it with heels, but I do want it to be just long enough, just in case maybe one day I do want to wear it with heels. I can. So the goal is today to get the base completely done with this and whatever other fabrics that I want to use, and then to then like mark out like the like what's gonna be what where on the dress, right? And how much, where we're gonna put this, where we're gonna put that, where we're gonna put this, and that's my goal today. And if I can start with this today, that would be great. If like at least the bottom part is like done by like midnight tonight, and the time is, it is 3:18, right, p.m. So if maybe by midnight tonight I have gotten to that point, I will be happy. I will be happy. So the way that I'm gonna do this, I've decided that I'm not gonna I'll cut strips, yes, but I'm not gonna like stitch in the middle. I'm gonna gather at the top. I'm like serge it at the top, and then just gather it, and then it will create more dimension, and it will create like a very nicer ruffle. So that's what I'm gonna do, instead of like ruffling it in the middle. I'm not gonna do that. And yeah, and then like once this part is done, then we can start playing around. And I've got something else that I want to do, but it's all about timing, like tomorrow, like a lot of work needs to get done. So we'll start with that. Now what I'm going to do is the bottom part of the outline of the corset, I'm just gonna like trace that out with paper and stuff, so that I can like get all the godets in place and get everything ready, and then we will start sewing everything together. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna overthink this anymore. I've thought about it enough. Let's go. Okay, so move this here. Okay, so this is the pattern. I decided to go with the like champagne gold for the bodice, for the corset situation, and then these are gonna be the trapezoid thingies for the skirt. So they basically follow the outline of the um, of the corset. So that's what they follow, right? And then I'm gonna cut them out at a certain length. I haven't decided, and then we will add the gussets, like when it's on the mannequin. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out because this is like 8 pieces because um nothing is like every single piece is its own, right? So I'm gonna cut 8 pieces, and then there are like 4 other pieces, these pieces that are gonna be cut out of tulle, but I'm gonna cut but I have to baste those. So I'm gonna cut this out, interface one side, and then we'll start sewing and putting this together. I want this and the skirt to be put together tonight. So this is the tulle, and I should turn on my light, but anyway, and this is for the 2 pieces. Folded each. I folded the tulle 4 times. 2 times horizontally, the other 2 times, across grain, and then the other way straight grain, so that the stretch can be like cancelled out. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pin it, baste it, then cut it out. So I have basted all the pieces. I marked with red as the notches. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. You're not gonna see it. And then with these, I'm going to interface the ones that need to be interfaced, and then cut this out, and then we're gonna start sewing. Um, so everything has been, marked. The other 2 pieces, and everything that needs to be interfaced has been interfaced. So the lining piece and then the shell piece, everything here, right? It's like almost 10. It's 9:51. This is probably gonna take me an hour, and I've got a hard cut off at 11. I'm gonna have to see this tomorrow. Like specifically the skirt part, because I still have to write an essay for this video, and I'm reading like a bunch of stuff. So I want to spend like at least 2 hours reading, and then I want to learn the pinky up choreography, so I don't really have the time. I'm gonna give this an hour, then I'm gonna eat, and then at midnight I'm gonna read, and then at like 2:30 I'm gonna go to bed so that I can wake up at like 6 or 7 to go to the gym, and then we can lock in like when I get back from the gym, like at 10 a.m. or 9 or 10, depending on, you know, that's that. But yeah. Okay, we're gonna start by sewing the two pieces together, because there's one, two, three, four, two pieces. We're gonna sew those together, right, one by one, and then we will start sewing the shell fabric and then the lining fabric. So we'll start with this one, which is piece 8, 7, 6, and 5. Okay, so this is how far we got yesterday and today, because I did press. I know it looks wonky here, but oh girl, it's fine. We're still gonna press. And there is like a truing situation with like this seam and here. This looks like it's forward. It's not. Trust me, when I wore it, it's not. It's just the way that this is placed. And then decided to have a side zipper, and it's on this side because I'm going to have a bustle situation here on the skirt, and since we're not doing like a two-piece situation with the skirt like we discussed this, we're not going to what's this we're not going to words come to me. We're not going to, like, it's not gonna we're not gonna be able to open from the side. We're gonna have to open coming from here. I didn't want to have a back zipper because why? And then I think the only thing that annoyed me with this is that I was very lazy with truing the seams. I was just guessing. And here, this situation, but again, you're not gonna see this. Like, you're not gonna see that. And I think that I need to do is to cast down like the seams so that they don't keep like flipping over and stuff like that. So, and then I need to add boning. But what we're gonna do now is to work on the bustle and work on the skirt. And then once I'm done with that, I will add the boning, and then we have to cut up as much tulle as like the you know the situation, the ruffles. And then once we cut up the ruffles, we need to start like putting that on the dress, and that's like what I hope to do today. you know it looks a bit like there's a lot of room here. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of room. This is not gonna be tight laced. I'm not doing that. There's gonna be room. I want to be able to breathe. I'm actually gonna wear this like more than like once. I'm gonna wear it like as a regular dress. Okay, don't mind the floor. It's a bit messy because I just made that, and I had to chop up a bunch of little stuff. Anyway, so I folded this 8 times. This is 280 centimeters. So I folded it 8 times. I'm gonna cut it at 55 inches, and it's gonna be strips for the skirt. And then I'm gonna turn them into trapezoids, and some of them are gonna be, you're gonna see what I want to do. crazy, I know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to like just gather or pleat, haven't decided, you know, just because I wanted to have like a little bit of volume. So that's why it is a little bit of excess. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna like stitch it just at like certain points, and then as it cascades, you know, from left to right, I'm gonna keep adding like gussets in between, right, at the bottom, so that we can have like volume and stuff like that. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Okay, so this is where we're at. I'm just gonna quickly mark, um, basically how, because you know I told you that, okay, I've explained this so many times. I'm not doing it again. I'm just going to mark, you know, giving vibes. I'm definitely gonna add something maybe here, and then on this part let it come to like maybe here, and then from here let it come like here. Right, let's do that. And then from there, let's come down to like here, right? And then here, which I'm definitely gonna cut here. Let it be like maybe here. Very dramatic. And then on this side, let it just like we're going up. So going up. And then here, let me see what's going on this side. It's here, okay. So we're gonna come to this situation. Yeah. And then here. You're wondering, oh my god, how dare you? No, girls, you're not gonna be able to see any of these markings. Okay. Alright. Alright. And then I'll decide whether or not I want to add stuff in between the panels, like where I want to add more in between the panels. I think it's gonna be in front, the back. We'll see. So I'm gonna do that. The next time you see this, to be honest with you, is probably um once I have gotten the skirt and everything together, because girls, I'm tired of filming. I'm really tired today. You can see me. I just want to like work and just lock in so that I can like flow tomorrow. Because yeah, anyway, cool. That's that. And I think I'm gonna add boning. But if I'm gonna add boning, I'm gonna film that. But I don't think I'm gonna do that today. I just really want to get the skirt going, and then tomorrow we'll do the boning. Girls, like I'm procrastinating cutting this. The skirt is there. My room is literally a mess. Okay, it's a mess. I'm going to the gym. No, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the library now. I've got other stuff I need to do. I cannot commit on whether or not I want to do strips, or if I want to do like that, you know, that fold thing where you cut it into a square and then you fold it like 4 times. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to like decide what should I do. And because I cannot commit and procrastinating, my bra is missing. I, oh my god, I feel like I really, but I can do it. I can do it. It's just that I need to commit to something. And to be honest, I'm gonna try out something when I get back. I'll be gone for like 2 hours. I'll try out something. I'm just gonna do like the squares and see how they look like and how they feel. Just that I wish I could see a reference, because I've seen the Mcqueen one. I like what is done with Mcqueen, right? It's actually it's not ruffle. It's, and even with the skirt, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. But we can do it. 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 I'm concerned. I don't think this is gonna be enough. And I got the last of this fabric when I was at the fabric store. It was literally like just over 10 meters, and I took all of it, and I don't think this is gonna be enough. I am very, very concerned. Like, this is one strip, right? And I think at most, when it comes to the squares, I'm gonna get like maybe 6. I'll probably get like 12 squares per. It's probably gonna come up to like 150 squares, or if a little bit more, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. Oh my god, I'm concerned. Girl, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What should I do? Do you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna fill a certain section with some other fabric. I don't know what fabric, because it's not even like I can go buy the fabric. It's not, that's not an option. Oh my god. You know what? Let's just do, and then we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna cut everything into like squares now. I just layer everything. It makes life so much easy. I think I've been watching Trix's video. I think it's been like 20 minutes. It took like 20 minutes to cut all of this, because I just like folded it multiple times, because the last time when I did this, it was, honestly speaking, horrible what I did. It was terrible. So I'm just gonna like lay these, you know, into like on top of each other, and then I'm gonna cut like 12 or whatever amount of squares. Oh, okay. So I have cut, I don't know, I think maybe like there was like 10 or 15. No, it was more than 10, definitely more than 10 like rows. So I cut them like this, and I should put like a bunch. They make good squares, you know. If you're worried, make it cuts a good square, you know. It's a square. There it is, and that's what matters. It has to be a square. So it's gonna make about maybe 700 and something squares, because it's about 13 rows, right? I'm gonna cut like 13, and in total, the actual rows that I got from there was between like 60 and 70, because currently these are 5, and I'm assuming like probably there were 15 here, so it's like maybe 65, or yeah, probably like between 60 and 65. That's how many there were, and times 13, that's like 700 and what, between maybe 750 to like 800 and something. So that's how many squares we're gonna get. Are they gonna be enough? I do not know. I do not know. We'll see, because you're gonna see how I'm gonna like stack them for you to understand why I'm like doubting whether or not they're gonna be enough. But if they end up being more, this is all of this is gonna make it on that dress, all of it, because I'm not gonna have any of this fabric wasted. Okay, so this is like, let's count it together, right? This is from one of these buckets. In total, I'm probably gonna get 3 of these buckets. Let's see how many strips are we gonna get. Okay, so this is like roughly how long each strip is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6, 7. I'm too old for that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Girls, we're probably gonna roughly get about 15 of these rows per bucket. I can tell you right now, it'll take probably 5 to do 1 row. Yeah, I feel like I'm about to cry. It is 3:07. It took me like 2 hours. 2 hours? No. Yeah, about 2 hours to do just this. In total, probably on average, it's gonna take me 6 hours just to do this, to do the 3 buckets. I found a faster way to do it, but still, it probably take me like 3 hours. I have an idea. There is something else I wanna use. I'm gonna have to pin this before I just to see if it's gonna be enough. I have an idea. It will require another piece of fabric, but that piece of fabric will have to be like I have an idea. But I will have to I don't know if I should go to bed. Should I go to bed? I'm gonna go to bed and just start fresh in the morning and yeah. Okay, man, I'm gonna go to bed at 4. I'll try to get through this within the hour because the method that I'm using is a bit quicker. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm looking there because normally the camera is like there, but now it's here.
Like that needs to die.
Okay, this is what I'm doing, right? And I think, god damn it, I like the idea that I currently like have. It's so much more interesting. It's I am concerned that I actually might do the thing that even though I haven't tested it out, I think I'm just gonna go for it and do it because I can trust my gut from like I've sewn enough to know when I've got enough fabric and I don't have enough fabric. And the idea that I have is so much more interesting than what this is. Innovation comes from like, scarcity or whatever they say. And yeah, there's another thing, and it will be, oh my gosh, I'm annoyed because it's going to be so much more work. Because what I will do is the point of what one of the reasons why if you saw what I the skirt, the reason why it looks the way that it does, right? It looks very lumpy for a reason. It's not out of and if you pay attention to my entire rant about the skirt, it's like that for a reason. I need the skirt to feel like, it's like how in the ocean. I need like a flowy vibe. And if you notice something with the oyster dress, the oyster dress also has a vibe like that, but it also has the vibe of being Like it's the strips almost have this swirly effect, and that's something that I'm thinking about. And the more I think about the other idea about like how I'm gonna add fabric to the skirt portion of this, I'm thinking I'm gonna have like separate lines, right? It's gonna be the other fabric, and it's gonna be this. It's gonna be the other, like like parallel. Da, 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 da. But the way that I want it done, already the lines, the way that the design specifically for this portion of the dress is gonna be, it's going. Oh my god, like the ideas are flowing. Anyway, it's going to be um it's asymmetrical, right? It's already like at this angle. So what I want to do is basically create this tornado like this swirl like effect that goes around the dress. So so I should probably start from the top end and work my way down to just already get that effect, to just kind of sort of get that like that swirl effect. That's what I want to do. And oh, imagine like, because it's like a cream white like fabric, right? Let me show you the fabric. It's literally here. So it's this, right? It's this, but then there's it looks very white. It's just, it's not. It's cream. It's like a bone white, you know. And I have a bed sheet that is made out of this. Not a bed sheet, like a duvet, huge duvet. That is what I'm gonna use. And this is actually going to be used for something else. That's why I was like, oh my god, the ideas are flowing. That I know exactly where it's going to be at a certain point, because again, going, oh my gosh, this is going to be fabulous. Honestly speaking, I really hope that I finish this in time, because you're not going to gag. You're not going to gag. So what I basically do is take like a square, fold it like that, you know, like that, wrap, but I try not to do that, you know, uh, and then bam, take it. Okay, this took about an hour, 15 minutes, maybe out an hour, 20 minutes, somewhere around there. So now I'm definitely gonna keep these scraps. They're gonna be very useful. So now we're gonna serge the top part, because as much as I do appreciate the fraying, girl, it needs to be controlled. Okay, so we're gonna turn this back into, you know, a four thread situation, and then we're gonna serge. Slater, girl. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so between this and all of this, right? It took about 8 hours to do between yesterday and like this entire afternoon, because it's like 8 p.m. I had to like post some stuff, which that takes some time, hey? So now we're starting with the fun part. I'm quickly gonna cut out the the hem just to get it in line, and then we will start with um we'll start with the ruffles. We're gonna do it. um I don't know, should it be a line? Think about it, guys. Like, you remember the thing I was talking about, the line from here that goes down? Should it be a line? Should it be like a huge section of it? Maybe like a good section that is like that. I don't know. I'm so confused about what to do with that, hey? I don't know what to do. And do you think, you know what I think, you know what I think I should do? I should, if I'm thinking about it now, what I think I should have done is to actually put it on top and then lay it with the fabric. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think what I should do is to um, make the layers, put them in place, and then um, take the ruffles and then put them all around, because the point, it's very important that it seems like the red, which is symbolizing like blood, is like peeking through. It's not like highly visible. It's, it's underneath. It's covert. Like, it's, that's the point. And I feel if it's like very visible, it defeats the purpose. So that's why I'm using this cut and slash method with that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm gonna make like the strips now, and then I'm going to get like a piece of fabric, put the red on top of it, and then put the layer everything, make the strips, and then add that first, and then I'll start adding the say it with me, the ruffles, and whatever these square folds are. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, because that feels much, because when you're walking you'll be able to see the detail. Yeah, that's what we're doing. But I'm gonna make it like a thicker like section underneath, like a thick section, like probably like a huge section like on this side, and then that's gonna really like have that punch that I wanted to have. Yeah, yeah, that feels right. That feels right. And then here it's where it's going to be more visible. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be the base for it. So the way that I want to layer it is I'm going to have this organza on top of that. And actually, I wish I had another base fabric, hey? I'm thinking about it. And then we will have the tulle, the red, right? We will have the red, and then we will have like splotches of, I'm pretty sure I have more of this somewhere, but I don't think I want like more. I'm just going to add some of this around here, and then I will add the chiffon, and then I will add this lace fabric, right? I'm going to add this lace, and then I'll add this on top. That's what I'm going to do. And I need another base fabric. I actually would like this white to come. I'd like this white to come through. And I'm trying to think, because you can't cut the bottom layer. It doesn't really matter what the base fabric is, because you're not gonna see it. I need something sturdy. I'm thinking. I'm looking at my fabrics. There is that one piece of fabric that's like this. Oh, I've got this red leather. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's too heavy. You know what? It's fine, because when I cut through anyway, you'll be able to see it. When you cut through all the layers before you get to that one, you'll be able to see it. And then I will just like sew straight lines across. I'll just sew straight lines across, and then I'll take that and then I'll attach it onto the skirt right where I need it to be. And I might have to like cut it twice to be able to make sure that it goes all the way to the waistline, and then we will start with the thingy. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that now. Okay. Okay, so this is like several layers of fabric, and I have no other choice. I'll have to pin this, but I have to pin like row by row by row by row. It's gonna be such a tedious process, and then I'm gonna like stitch straight lines across. you know, just straight lines across it. And then I'll take it and then I'll pop it over there. Just like slap it right on top. You know, I will pin everything and then slap it on top, and then we'll start with the ruffles. Yeah. Yeah, ne? Yeah. But I have to like do the whole thing. Oh, that's honestly speaking the ambition sometimes. Girls, let me tell you something. This is gonna be a heavy dress because this alone feels like it weighs 500 grams. It feels like it weighs 500 grams. It is very out a little bit more than that. Like close to a kilo. And it's just one section of the dress. And then I'm still gonna put like in total there because I took two sides, right? The front part was like 2.5 by 2.5, and then there was an additional 1.5. So that's like 4 meters of fabric plus like 14 meters of fabric. And I'm gonna take all of that and like on the skirt. So let's start this very tedious process of I pinned this to death the best way that I possibly could. Hopefully, my thread is gonna finish him. I know, I just know it. Let's start here. Okay, you know what? No. Let's start right here. It's not about, perfection with this technique. It's more about, I just need to make sure that it's straight lines. I need to come closer so that this can actually sit. It's not like falling. Okay. I think you'll get the gist. Let me like tear into everything. God damn it. Okay, so there we are. Right, let's just do that. Open things up a little. Now, let's start doing this part. I should probably do it the other way around, just like this, so that I can agitate the openings. The crazy part is you're barely gonna see any of this because it's gonna be under other layers of stuff. But that's the point. It's for you not to be able to. It's about the subtlety. That's the point. Oh, I need to eat something. I'm trying to get busy. Okay. Yep, let's keep doing it just a little bit more. I think it has the education that I need. Just some areas like here. Maybe more. Okay, don't mind my bed. This is it, right? I'm about to stitch it in place. I just pinned it in place. You know, it's at an angle, so that's how it is. This is gonna be something else. Hey, so we're gonna sew it in place now. I just want to double check if inside, like it's flat. You know, it's not like there are no folds and stuff like that. Okay, that's good. No folds. Okay, cool. So we're gonna stitch it like around, and I might go like maybe 1 or 2 lines across, just so that it can stay, and then we can start thingy. So I wanna do that, and then after once I'm done doing that, I'm gonna go eat. I'm not gonna film stitching this. This is gonna be painful to do. Okay, I just need to like focus. Okay, cool. Okay, do not mind the bed. Okay, do not mind that. That's not trash. That's like laundry. Do you see the vision? Do you see it? So this layer is going to be covered completely, row by row by row by row by row by row. And then also at the top there, it's going to be covered somehow. And then I left like some of the edge here and there. I'm going to take that when I cut it out. When I cut it out and there, I'm going to take it and put it like along there. So now I'm gonna go eat, and then I'll get back, and then we're gonna just fill up the whole thing with the ruffles and stuff. This is so heavy already. Okay. Okay, so I've been thinking about it. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I am going to start on the boning because I was like doing laundry and I had to eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use the Vaseline. Let me take this out. I'll explain. You know, normally what you would do, right? With a bustier, in this situation, you would have like the corset bustier situation just complete, and then you would have whatever your dress on top. But I'm not doing that because so what I'm going to do is I was thinking about like if I want this, but no, I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm not gonna do it on the lining. I'm gonna do it on the shell because the shell is gonna be covered anyway. So the shell will basically act as that medium, and plus it has the interfacing, right? So what I'm going to do is, oh yeah, and I noticed I noticed it the other time, but I was not sure. Um, I'm going to, I don't know if it's because the boning is missing, but like this, it's like 2 inches big on these two seat, and I noticed it because they look too big, but like for some reason these two panels are like 1 inch on each side, a little bit too big, and it's specifically these two panels because every other like point is exactly where it needs to be. It's like literally here when I tried it on, but at the same time, I haven't tried it on with the boning, and I haven't tried it on with like the other lining. All of that is gonna add like so I'm gonna add boning and everything on every single seam except this one, and then I'll try everything on. I'll pin these two together, and then I'll see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add the Rigeline to basically every single seam except the front seam, which I'm gonna add like 2 of the plastic boning. I'll tell you why. And then at the back, which girl, it's a lot. You know what the back looks like. I can't be moving all of this. There is like, you know, the back center seam in particular. I'm going to add like 2 also side by side of the plastic boning. Reason why I like the plastic boning because it's incredibly stiff, but over time as it melts to your body, and it will really like it will, you know, yeah, I love that. So I'm gonna do That's what the plastic boning is gonna be 2 of each, like 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what we're gonna do, and then the rest of it is gonna be this, and then everything is gonna be encased in like whatever fabric. Really, truly speaking, it doesn't really matter because it'll be in between. You're not gonna see it. And then I will add a, because when I wear this, it's not really obvious right now, but like when I wear it, it really does shape to my underbust, which is what I wanted, because I want to add, without adding like bra cups, because I'm going to add like underwire, to like a very specific place underneath. I'm gonna add my underwire, and then once all of that is done, right, this will serve, because I was thinking maybe I should like encase my boning in this. I can't, because I've got like 25 meters of this. 25? No, I've got 5 meters of this, and I want to use this as my waist tape, and I want to finish all my seams with this in certain places because it's very sturdy, this twill tape, and yeah, that's what I want to do. And then lastly, oh yeah, for the waist tape, this is very rough, so I'm going to use this fabric. This is the fabric for the skirt. I'm gonna like put it on top and then like serge it in a way that I can put this around the waist tape so that it can be, like a little bit comfortable on my skin. I'm basically gonna cover it with that. And then now when it comes to this, at the end, right, once this is done and I have to attach everything, because I don't want to add any bra cups, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some of this wadding as like some padding here, which is one of the reasons why I'm saying that 2 inches, it's there for a reason. I had said something prior. It's there for a reason. So I'm gonna like kind of sort of like add some extra padding around here. Um, I will baste it in place, and then I will, when I attach this to this, and then we will, like when you attach the front and back, and then you secure the underbust, the underwire situation. That's what I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna do that, and then yeah. So that's what we're gonna do right now. But that's like the last step. Like after the skirt, everything is done. That's like last step. Um, like that's like a finishing step. So now we're just gonna add boning to that, and then we're gonna try this on and see what, like how much do I need to reduce it by, because I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like 1 inch, and I also have to like adjust this point. This is gonna be a zipper. I think I said this. I'm not doing a thingy. And then we're gonna tackle the skirt, which, well, it's 1:30. I need to wake up like at, let's not even get into it. Y'all, I am very concerned. Sometimes when you're making something, you kind of sort of like, you are living for it as you're making it. I'm not living for this. I'm so concerned because I spent, like, there's a lot of fabric that went into this, number one. And number two, I'm not seeing the vision, girls. I'm not seeing it. But I remember when I made the orange dress, like, distress things really require you to be patient, and you will see it at the end. And right now, I'm not seeing it, and it's making me scared. And I don't know if it's because, I'm worried. I am worried about the fact that, if I'm gonna have enough fabric to just do the skirt, because it is a mammoth of a skirt. I am really concerned. Today I just woke up. I went to the gym. I mean, not the gym. I went to the library, and I like was working on the essay, right? Because I want this to be paired with an essay, and I really hope what I'm feeling in the essay will translate to what I am making, because Miss Mama, I don't know. This is making, I don't know. And especially what happened with the corset yesterday, I just feel I'm very deflated. Like, yesterday I put in the boning, and that was such a fight. Like I slept at 4. You know, this is what they say, you shouldn't sew like after a certain hour because mistakes are made. And I'm just like a bit traumatized right now. So I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, Karen, girl, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Is this gonna work? Did you bite off more than you can chew? Was this arrogance? Thinking I can make, you know, be inspired by the great Mcqueen, make something. And this is like such a very, girl, I don't know, girls. I was living before. I want another thing is the squares. I am like not sure about them. I'm like, should I have gone with maybe this just made it the circle? But I really wanted to see the squares. Like I already know how the circles look like. Like the squares in my mind, like it's so clear. The vision is clear in my mind, but is it gonna translate? Girls, I don't know. Girls, I am panicking. I am panicking. I'm panicking, and I am panicking. This is not working. This looks terrible. You know, I thought I saw something with this chiffon, and the more I'm just doing this, it's too dark. It's this. It's missing a glamour that I am looking for, and also I thought it's not working. I have another idea, and I just spent like 20 hours wasted, and I've spent like a shit ton of money. Tomorrow's a public holiday. Um, okay, because I'm looking at this, right? This, this is it. This was the is like the main fabric on the bustier. It's the main fabric, and when I look at this, I struggle so much to be able to see how anything else could work, right? And like I can see it, but then I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna remove all of this. I just, girl, you don't understand. I've been sewing since like 6 p.m. It just looks bad. And it's so heavy. It's heavy in an like, and it's not pleasing, and that's what's pissing me off. And like, I'm gonna keep the base because I'm gonna buy tulle, right? God, spend so much money on this thing, you have no idea. Um, Normally it's that I don't like wasting fabric, and this was like 100, I mean 10 meters of fabric. And then also this bed sheet, like I'm not gonna throw it away, I'm just gonna seam rip everything, and then I will like put it away, and then eventually everything like this has a place. It's just that not for this. It's just not working for this. It's just not working. I keep thinking about it. It's not working. I can see it for something else, but it's just not working for this. And it's so I'm gonna get this off-white. This is like an off-white tulle, right? I'm gonna get that, and then I will use that as the skirt portion. Um, I was right though. One thing I'm learning from this is that I was definitely right about the how I constructed it, because I can see it as I am, that it was going to move exactly like the Mcqueen. The Mcqueen dress skirt was heavy. I know that it like probably anywhere between 10 to 20 like kilograms. 10 is not enough. It's definitely heavy considering how it was constructed. There's no way. It was incredibly heavy. So yeah, I'm just gonna go get some tulle tomorrow. Once I get the tulle tonight, I'm just gonna remove all of this, and I'm gonna put this onto the corset, and the other side of the corset is supposed to be like distressed. I'm just gonna look for like, I'm thinking of how to do it, like what method would work best for this, because it needs to be controlled. It cannot just be like distressed in a way that is messy. And I am, I feel so defeated. I feel so defeated, like you have no idea. I'm so worried about, I'm so worried about the base fabric. It's stressful. It's not working. Like, imagine if this was like chiffon. I'm having a cup of tea. I'm having a cup of tea and I'm going to bed. It is like, I think just after 1. I'm gonna try to wake up early. Um, the fabric store closes at 11:45. I mean, yeah, 11:45 a.m. because of the holiday. And this entire project, I have just been overthinking it. If I'm being honest with myself, I've been overthinking this. Um, the from the skirt, I don't know why. I think if it was any other situation where I wasn't like trying to make something, I don't know. Alexander McQueen is like my fave. So I think that's what it is. I've never overthought anything the way that I'm overthinking this. And because I'm overthinking it, I've made a couple of mistakes with like my decision making. Um, and it's like I'm thinking about the skirt. The skirt is a circle skirt. It is a circle skirt, mama. You know, it's probably a circle skirt at most that has. It's a circle skirt that's on an angle. That's what it is. That's been slashed and spread. Ginormous circle skirt. That's what it is. It was nothing. It was not complicated. I don't know why I made it complicated, but that's what it was. It was just a circle skirt that was on an angle. And I know this, like, you know, when what's this? I will say, as I was like putting everything together, I could tell, okay, yeah, that was definitely a circle skirt, you know. And I don't know why didn't I just make a circle skirt? That would have made my life so much easier. Secondly, um, I just I'm not gonna make the skirt that I wanted to make because I cannot justify it financially. I cannot justify the financial expense of it. I thought maybe I could like fabric manipulate my way out of this. There's no amount of fabric manipulation that could, it's just like it would cost so much money to make the skirt. You know, I'm going to focus on what I can do at the top, but when it comes to the bottom, yep, I think that's where we are at. I'm not going to try to, yeah, I'm just not going to try and do anything else. I think that's where we are at. When it comes to the bottom, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do, but like it's gonna be simple. It's gonna be within the means of what I can do. It's not gonna necessarily be coral reef adjacent, to be honest, because I just this has been this has been painful. This has been honestly such. I feel like crying. I feel like crying because I don't know. And I know this is a bit dramatic, but I feel like a failure because I really have this vision. It's very clear in my mind, but it's like financially, I just can't make it make sense. You know, I just can't. It would cost. I was just doing the calculations for it. The Alexandra McQueen skirt, just to give you context, it has like hundreds of strips of chiffon, like layered, like just that's what it's made of. And I think it cost like it was I think a couple of yards, like close to 100, if not like over 100 yards of fabric. I don't know what yards are, but I can tell you meters. 100 meters. If I were to do like a chiffon in 100 meters, it would cost 10,000 rand because um, and I'm not being dramatic. Like 1 meter of chiffon um is 50 rand. 2 meters is obviously 100 rand. So to be able to get like 20 meters would be 1,000 rand. 20 meters would be 1,000 rand. So to be able to meet what it would be between like 5 to 10,000 rand. That's how much it would cost. And I thought of maybe like because there were so many different ways I wanted to approach this, but each one is honestly speaking, it it's expensive. Like I thought of making little tiny little spirals to kind of sort of mimic um like moss and like seaweed, you know, not moss, not seaweed, you know, and that alone, you if you know anything about making a spiral is like making even the tiny, it takes up fabric. So making, imagine what, maybe 1,000 spirals. I just cannot justify the cost. I've already spent so much money, and as it is, I already took, and another fabric is wasted, and it's in like a state that can be reused. Even with this is not an issue. This what I'm realizing, and I said this yesterday, is that I have made this entire process unnecessarily complicated, and I don't know why. Because when I went to the fabric store, I found everything that I actually wanted in the first place. I found the type of tool that I wanted, like an organza. I found the organza that I would have used in this instance, right? That was strong enough that would have been able to handle all the tool or the you know, the strips. I found it, but I already have this, and I was just like, I'm not gonna waste this fabric, so it's fine. We'll continue with it. And then secondly, I found this tool. This is an off-white tool, and it's what I was looking for initially. But I was thinking that it only comes at like 150, you know, um, the width is 150 centimeters, 1.5 meters. And I was like, okay, if I know it's fine, I'll try and look for something else, which is why we ended up in that situation and ended up buying that, even though that was 150, but it was like 10 rand a meter, which, anyway, this is 40 rand a meter, but the width is 300 centimeters. I should have just checked or asked somebody because I've always wondered, because this is like bridal tool is readily used, and they always have it, but I never really like paid attention. So when I went there today, I was just like, you know what, just get the tool that you actually want. So I was thinking this is 150 meters, and I was thinking at the time that it's like 30 rand a meter. So I went there and I checked and so it was 40 rand. But then I was looking at it, I'm like, this is not 150 meters. Then when I looked at the tag, it says 300 centimeters. And I was just like, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, I remember the first time when I was looking for material, I went to the curtaining side looking for something that gave this fantasy, but I couldn't find everything. Everything was just like a too deep of a like a yellow. It was like very adjacent to like a yellow. It wasn't this off-white color. And now I have it. And like when I saw that tool, I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed. The same way that I realized, I was like, girl, why didn't you just make a circle skirt? I was so annoyed. All these things just made me realize, like, but we live and we learn. Um, to be fair, like the last time I did something similar to this was like, what, 3 4 years ago. It's not something that I regularly do, which is something that I want to get more into, like making very like, you know, um, custom dresses and stuff like that, because clearly there's like a skill lacking thing that's happening. I'm more used to like pants and fitting other things, just I and this and like jacket, this is not my forte, and I'm gonna make it my forte. Like for the every single, like I already have scheduled like almost every single project for the next 3 to 4 months is going to be a skirt, a dress. You know what I mean? Specific. So yeah, yeah, we're locking in on the dresses and the skirts. And like the dresses and skirts that I normally make don't require boning or corsetry, or like it's not corsetry adjacent, but they will be, because I really want to be good at this. I want to be really really good, because even the corset, I'm looking at it right now. That's why I keep looking there, and there's so many, like, and I was just so, I think, because when like the certain hacks that you end up having when you're sewing with certain things, I thought I could pull off the same stance with the, and it really doesn't work. The only thing that's going to save this corset, otherwise I would literally have to start again. But the only thing that's going to save it is that how I'm going to um sew it, right? There's still going to be like stuff overlaid, so you're not going to see any of it. And even if when you look inside, you're still not going to be able to see what it is that I know is happening. I'm going to eventually have to show y'all. I'm really embarrassed, I'm not going to lie, but okay. Y'all, we are like halfway through. It is 1 a.m. They did not lie when Alexandra McQueen said, look at that, it's almost finished. Luckily I have some there. This is definitely the most exhausting, the most taxing, the most all the thing I've ever done. It is so much sewing. I've been sewing. I started sewing at 3, and then I stopped at 7, and then I went back at 8:40 something, and then I stopped at 10:30, and then I went back at 11, and I've been sewing ever since. And it's 1. Like as I'm counting the rows. I am like 45 rows in. They were not lying when they said it was made of like hundreds of rows. I'm not gonna get to hundreds, but I'm definitely probably gonna get to like 90 rows that I need to sew for this to make sense. And I might have to go buy more fabric. I'm gonna put the rest of this. I think I've got like maybe 8 or 9 300 centimeter strips here, and then I have a little bit more fabric. I think I'm still left with like 2 meters. I'm not gonna cut it. If it's like 3 o'clock when I stop because of this, then I'll go to bed. If it's like 2, I will then like put a portion. Let me just show you. This corset looks crazy around the but like the cup area. It's because you know what, I'll explain it another time. I need to, because I drew in a line. I don't know if you can tell. There's a line like right there. I need to put like fabric. You'll see it. The next time you see it, you'll see it on. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna take these and glue them on first as a way to like basically like baste them in place, and then I will later on put them like stitch them in place, because right now, girl, I cannot for the life of me see like what I'm doing. I'm just gonna take it, put like, because I also want to see the design, and I can't see the design if I am like showing them in place. So we'll start with the glue and stitch in place. We'll definitely have to stitch it in place because I know glue does not hold. Also, the skirt is finished. This whole part, you'll see there's gonna be stuff on that. And look at that. Oh my god, like this took like I think 30 hours to do, if not more. There's hundreds of rows on there. So don't mind my bed. Don't mind that. But I'm currently like, these are glued in, right? um and I'm gonna like stitch them all in right now with some invisible thread and just put everything together, and then I'm gonna take this and then I'm gonna put it in here, and then I'm gonna do the other part to this, because it's actually gonna be like something very dramatic here that's gonna go into the thingy. And yeah, because look at that, girl, damn, you guys don't understand. You don't understand. Okay, so this is the dress. This is where we are at, girls. Okay, I just have like this part that needs to come through, which actually I'm seeing it now from this angle, how I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in like, like that. It's gonna go down like that. And then it's gonna, I was thinking to do like an eye here, like bring everything more like that, and then right in the center, like leave it like there. Okay, so this is where we're at, right? I'm eating, girls. I'm eating. I'm eating. Come on, stop. Okay, first things first, my room is a mess. Like a complete mess. I am a mess. Everything is a mess. But we're almost at the finish line, and I really want to like get everything. I'm definitely gonna finish tonight. Because the reason why I kept stopping wasn't necessarily because of like I was tired. It's because my back was hurting so much. You don't understand. This skirt is insane. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna trace this part out. This is gonna act as the base. This, I'm gonna use it as a base. Um, I'm just realizing there are curves and stuff on here that might cause issues. Hmm. You know what? Let's do this. We'll separate it considering that this cutout is not gonna be, which is another thing. Can you see that? Don't worry, you're not gonna see any of that. I'll be damned. Okay, let's start from here. Okay, it is 12:07, and I like made a ginormous strip. Oh god, I really shouldn't do that. Like a ginormous strip. I'm just gonna serge it, and then I'm going to start with this, like over there, and just do all those lines and stuff. Okay, so we're in the final stretch. I just need to I'm thinking about what the base for this is gonna be. I think I'm just gonna use tulle. I'm gonna like put the the serged bits under tulle, and then I'm going to yeah. But the serging part that I'm still gonna do, it took like 40 minutes to just connect all of them. Now I'm gonna serge, and it's like I'm gonna do a rolled hem, and it's gonna be white, even though there's another like off-white like thing. I feel like the white would pop in a nice way. um but yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna lay it on the tulle. After it's laid on the tulle, yeah, and then we're just gonna like baste it on top of this. We'll do it by hand. I'll put it flat, and then I'll baste it on top of this, like, and cover everything. And then once that is done, I'm going to put in I think I'm gonna do the lining. This bit, I'll do it like quickly, but then I'm not gonna put it in. I'll put it in tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna do the horsehair. I'm still thinking about that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put horsehair there. And then what else? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It is like 2:15, and I just serged like these strips on both sides. Each side took like an hour to do, and it's all of that. And now I've got to take all of that, like gather it, and then we're gonna put it on there. And it's 2:15, and I still have to edit the video, take pictures. I'm probably not gonna sleep today. I'm probably gonna power through into tomorrow and like do everything, get everything ready, and then I'll sleep and then wake up for the Met Gala. Honestly, this is crazy. Okay, so this is where we are at. All the pieces are done. I just have to add like some distressed tool situation around here. It is 2:30. I have to post at 6. Like literally, this is the 4th. And I told myself at 6 p.m. I need to be done. I'm going to like some of the ruffles here. Girl, I glued that. I was like, I can't do this. The ones at the top I did not. But some of the ones there I did. Because I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I don't have the time. Like, my hands are like I was bleeding and everything. If you see, like, oh, anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just like I have to hand stitch everything because I can't do it by machine. So I have to hand stitch everything. So we're gonna put all the applique pieces in, add the tulle, and then lastly add the lining, and then we're gonna take pictures. Yeah, and it's 2:30. I have to at least be done by 4, and then I'll take pictures. A hand stitch from here. I cannot be in my room. I just can't be in that room right now. It's too much. There's just too much going on. Everything is everywhere. It's like it's World War II. So I just said I'm gonna come to my mom's room and do the things that need to be done. Girls, like my hands. Oh.